I started doing reviews again, and I think I finally found a format I enjoy and want to keep doing for games I beat. One thing doing reviews does is open you up to more concentrated criticism and jeering if you review a game in a way people don't like, which is certainly the case in my latest review of Kena Bridge of Spirits, although the ratio is way more positive than negative. I gave it a 73 out of 100 because the melee combat is utter dog shit, and a lot of the mechanics surrounding combat as a whole are also very anti-player for no reason. To super quick summarize, although you should watch the review for full context, there's really only one combo. You just spam R1 and add a lame heavy attack with R2 sometimes, but the combos don't flow naturally and there's no buffering, so your important inputs get cancelled sometimes. Movement is stiff, the camera's super slow, and all your mana, which you use for activating combat abilities and healing, gets completely drained at the start of every fight because it's like a courage meter, which makes things really stupid for no reason. You unlock extra courage slots and they just go to waste because it empties itself every time an enemy shows up, so you can't save your resources and it's some dumb bullshit. And on harder difficulties you do no damage, so you need those abilities. It still got as high as a 73 though, because I still liked the game and most everything else about it was enjoyable. It just has garbage trash dumpster combat, except the bow, because the bow is really fun and good, but that's it. So anyway, an obvious minority of people will take issue with that and tell you to get good because they fundamentally misunderstand that me being bad isn't the issue when I literally completed the game on hard mode. You can't be bad and do that. That wouldn't make any fucking sense. I'll beat Kingdom Hearts on critical mode and people will still be like, you're trash because I said a certain attack or boss was bullshit. If you can still be bad at a game after beating it on the hardest difficulty, I'm bad at every game, and so are you. I don't know why you'd be exempt from these rules. Calling me bad for only doing something you've also only done, if you've even done it, which half the time they haven't. It's like people who call professional fighting game players bad if they lose a match or something. If you don't measure up to your own standard of quality you use to judge others, maybe pop back down into the sewers from whence you came like a meerkat and shut the fuck up. Gamers will argue and just say shit that means nothing. Just vapid language meant to disrespect and offend, but if you actually look at it, it's like obviously clear why those statements don't hold any water. I like to talk about and respond to negative comments sometimes because it's cathartic for me. I could ignore them, I could just troll them, but I also like telling people why they're provably wrong, just so I know that they know they're pulling some linguistic BS and getting called out for it. Because maybe if someone rubs their nose in it clearly enough, some of that logic will stick with them in their future online flame wars, and maybe they won't play so fast and loose with pure strawmanning and misrepresentation of facts. Some of them are also 12 years old, so maybe not, and sometimes it's hard to tell. If people are using more than one exclamation point and misspelling words, that's usually a likely sign. Someone commented who hated that I said Kena had bad combat and was hard on hard mode, and to bolster their point, they were like, you can play the whole game without getting hit even once if you dodge or parry quickly. Like, okay, tell me more obvious things that don't mean anything. That doesn't make the combat good. If you're a god at this game that has shitty melee, you can complete it without getting hit. Therefore, the melee is not shitty and the game is not hard, which are the points he's trying to counter, so there's no other reason for saying this. If I beat the game without getting hit, am I good at the game yet? These people have pretty high standards. Also, it might be unintentional, but there's definitely a hint of flex in that statement, like he's beaten the game without getting hit, which, nah, you're literally just theory crafting and it doesn't change anything about how Kena actually is as a game. It's incredible how someone will react to a review by melting down in the comment section, and then if you reply to them trolling, they will accuse you of being the one who's butthurt. A pattern as old as the internet, perpetuated by self-oblivious toddlers who could look in a mirror and see no reflection like a vampire. Get good as a sentiment woven into arguments has to be the most annoying debate premise when it's hardly ever applied to people who actually aren't good. Like, if you're saying that shit to the journalist who got wrecked by the Cuphead tutorial, which we as a community will absolutely never forget for as long as we live, then yeah, maybe getting good would help. That might even solve every single one of his problems, in the game and in real life. Marital problems? Gone. He's a gamer god now, and she respects that. But in Kena, we're talking about broken mechanics. When I can make the shit work, and I don't make mistakes that shouldn't be mistakes but are because of how the combat is built, then the bosses die by my hand. I'm a boss murderer. I've ranked so many bosses, and every boss ranked was a boss destroyed, except like 2 of them. Saying I'm bad is just not factual. The combat is bad, which sometimes inhibits my ability to be good, and you might think I'm harping on this pridefully with my ego at stake, but I'm also saying this for any of you out there that have been similarly denigrated unfairly by little bitches who don't know what they're talking about. Take my words into your souls and find absolution and camaraderie. If someone says get good and you know you're good, spit on their graves in your mind. Your skill is self-actualized. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, Sunburned Albino, and I'll see you guys next time.